You have probably heard this sentence before. On a podcast, in a book, on a motivational post somewhere online. Mindset is everything. It sounds powerful. It also sounds a little exaggerated. Because if mindset is everything, what about money? What about opportunities? What about where you were born? Who raised you? What has happened to you so far? Do those things suddenly not matter? Of course they do. So today, we are not going to repeat empty motivation. We are going to explore what mindset really means, what it can change, what it cannot change, and how the way you think and interpret life quietly shapes your behavior, your resilience, your relationships, and your future. We will talk about the difference between a mindset of victimhood and a mindset of responsibility, between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And we will walk through practical steps to start training your mind so it becomes an ally, not an enemy, on your path. And if content like this helps you feel less stuck and more capable of directing your life, take a second to subscribe to this channel. That simple action tells the platform and tells me that you care about depth, not just quick distraction. And it gives me fuel to keep creating content that treats you like a thinking human being, not just a pair of eyes to capture. Now let us start with a simple picture. Imagine two people with the same challenge. They both lose a job, or a relationship ends, or a project fails. The external event is the same, but inside each mind, a different movie begins to play. Person one thinks, "Of course, nothing works for me. I am cursed. People like me never move forward. This is proof that I am a failure." Their body feels heavy. They shut down. They might numb themselves with distractions or wait for someone to rescue them. Person two feels the same pain, the same shock, the same fear. But their inner voice sounds different. "This hurts. I did not want this, but this is not the end of my story. What can I learn? What can I do next? Who can I ask for help? How do I use this instead of letting it use me?" Same event, different mindset, different reaction, different future. This is why people say mindset is everything. Not because your mind controls the entire universe, but because your mind controls your response, and your response shapes what happens next. Mindset is the set of beliefs, stories, and automatic patterns of thought through which you interpret your experiences. It is like the lens of a pair of glasses. If the lens is red, everything looks red. If the lens is cracked, everything looks broken. Your mindset is the lens through which you see yourself, other people, and the world. You cannot live without a lens, but you can polish it, replace it, and adjust it so that it shows you something closer to the truth instead of trapping you in old distortions. One of the most powerful mindset shifts you can make is the shift from victimhood to responsibility. Victimhood mindset does not mean you were never really hurt. Many people who think like victims were genuinely mistreated, ignored, or abandoned. The pain is real. Victimhood mindset means you organize your identity around that pain, and you conclude that because you were hurt, you are now forever powerless. Everything becomes someone else's fault. Your parents, your ex, your boss, the government, the economy, life. Sometimes they really did cause damage. But when you stop there, you give them permanent power over your future. Responsibility mindset does not say nothing bad happened. It says, bad things happened. Some of them were not my fault. But my response from this point on is my responsibility. I may not be to blame for my wounds, but I am the only one who can decide what I do with them now. That shift changes everything, because the moment you decide I am responsible for my reactions, my effort, my growth, you move from being a passive character in your life to being an active author. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? You start asking, what can I do with what is happening? That question does not magically fix everything, but it opens doors that the victim question always keeps closed. Another key mindset that shapes your life is the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset sounds like this: I am just not good at math. I am shy. I am bad with money. I will always be like this. Your abilities are seen as fixed traits. You succeed or fail because of who you are, not because of what you practice. So when you fail, you feel exposed. You avoid challenges because they might reveal that you are not as intelligent or talented as people thought. A growth mindset sounds different. I am not good at this yet. This is hard for me now, but I can improve. I made mistakes with money and I can learn to handle it differently. Here, your abilities are seen as skills that can be developed with effort, study, feedback, and time. Failure does not define you. It teaches you. You seek challenges because they are opportunities to grow. This mindset does not ignore limits. Not everyone can be everything, but most people vastly underestimate how much they can grow when they stop saying, "This is just who I am," and start saying, "This is who I have been so far, and I am learning to become more." Now, how do you actually change your mindset? It is not enough to watch one video, get inspired, and carry on as before. Your mindset is built from repetition. Repeated thoughts, repeated reactions, repeated stories about yourself. So, changing it also requires repetition. Let us walk through some practical movements to train your mind day by day. First movement: notice your automatic story. When something difficult happens, or when you look at your life, what is the first story your mind tells? It is hopeless. I am cursed. I always ruin everything. No one cares. It will never change. Do not judge yourself for having those thoughts. Just start noticing them like subtitles on a screen. Ah, my brain is playing the "I always fail" story again. The moment you notice the story, you create a tiny space between you and the thought. You are not the story. You are the one hearing the story. In that space, you can choose what happens next. Second movement: ask better questions. Your brain is a powerful answer machine. Whatever question you feed it, it will search for proof. If you ask, "Why am I such a loser?" your brain will happily bring you a highlight reel of every mistake you have ever made. If you ask, "Why does nothing ever work out for me?" your brain will ignore your victories and focus only on your disappointments. Instead, train yourself to ask questions that assume growth is possible. What can I learn from this? What is one small step I can take now? Who can I ask for guidance? How would the stronger version of me respond to this moment? These questions do not deny the pain. They simply direct your mental energy toward solutions, not only toward suffering. Third movement: challenge your absolutes. Fixed and victim mindsets love absolute language. Always, never, everyone, no one. I always get it wrong. No one likes me. I never finish anything. When you hear yourself think in absolutes, pause. Is that literally true? Have you really never finished anything? Have you truly always failed? Is it really no one who cares? Usually, when you look honestly, you will find exceptions. Times you did finish. People who did care. Moments you did succeed. When you admit those exceptions, your mind begins to loosen its grip on the old, rigid story. You can rephrase. Sometimes I give up early, but there are also times I stayed until the end, and I can build on those. I feel alone right now, but there are people who have shown me love, even if my pain is blocking me from feeling it fully today. These tiny corrections matter because your brain builds beliefs from repeated phrases. If you constantly repeat harsh absolutes, you will believe them. If you practice more accurate, more compassionate thoughts, they will start to feel just as believable. Fourth movement. Surround your mind with better input. Mindset is personal, but it is also social. If you live inside an environment where everyone says, life is pointless, people are trash, nothing will ever improve, it will be harder to maintain a hopeful, growth-oriented mindset. You do not need to cut off everyone who is struggling. We are all struggling. But you can intentionally add voices that stretch you upward. Books, talks, podcasts, mentors, friends, people who do not pretend life is easy, but who also refuse to stay stuck in bitterness. Let their way of thinking rub off on you. Mindset is contagious. Be careful what you catch. Fifth movement. Act your way into a new mindset. This sounds strange, but it is powerful. You do not wait until you feel brave to act bravely. You act bravely in small ways, and your mind slowly updates its image of you. You do not wait until you believe you are disciplined. You keep one tiny promise to yourself each day, and your mindset shifts from, I never follow through, to, I am becoming someone who does what they say. Your brain learns from your actions. Every time you choose a small action that aligns with the mindset you want to build, you are casting a vote for that version of you. Over time, those votes add up. You will wake up one day and realize that the way you think about yourself, the way you meet problems, the way you handle fear has changed, not because of one big insight, but because of hundreds of small new choices. Now let us address a common misunderstanding. Some people hear mindset is everything and think they must always be positive. They must never feel sad, angry, or afraid. They must smile through everything. That is not a healthy mindset. That is denial. A strong mindset does not mean you never feel bad. It means you can feel the full range of human emotions without letting those emotions dictate your entire identity or your long-term choices. You can say, I am deeply sad today. This hurts. And still, I will do one small thing that takes care of my future. I am afraid of this conversation. And still, my values are more important than my comfort. So I will speak. Your mindset does not cancel your feelings. It leads them. Gently, firmly. And with time, your emotions begin to trust that even when they are intense, there is a wiser part of you guiding the ship. As we move toward a close, turn this reflection toward your own life. Think about an area where you feel most stuck right now. Maybe it is money, maybe relationships, maybe health, maybe self-confidence. Ask yourself honestly, what is my current mindset about this area? What stories do I repeat? What labels do I give myself? Do those stories help me grow, or keep me stuck? Then ask, if I approach this area with a growth mindset and a responsibility mindset, what would change in my attitude today? Not in 10 years. Today. Maybe it would mean admitting you need help instead of pretending you have everything under control. Maybe it would mean starting a small habit you have avoided for years. Maybe it would mean speaking to yourself with the same patience you offer your friends. Mindset is not a magic wand, but it is the soil in which your actions grow. Poor soil can strangle even good seeds. Rich soil helps even small seeds become something real. If anything in this video resonated with you, share it in the comments. What is one mindset you are ready to let go of, and one new mindset you want to practice more deliberately? Your reflection might be the exact sentence someone else needs to recognize the story they have been living in, and to remember that stories can be rewritten. Mindset is not literally everything, but it is the frame through which you live everything. Train it, protect it, upgrade it, so that as your life unfolds, you are not just a passenger inside old beliefs, but an active participant in shaping who you become. One thought, one choice, one new story at a time.